Yo, what's going on, guys? Pineapple Sway. Today, I'm going to be talking about the NFL. Just recap week 1 through 2. Uh, Pretty self explanatory. First game we're going to be talking about is Dallas and the Buccaneers, the first game of the season. Very interesting game. I honestly thought it was crazy that the Dallas Cowboys put up as much as a fight as they did. I feel like if they were able to run the ball a little bit better, they probably could have pulled that game out. And a question we'll call near the end, uh, for offensive pass or a no call on offensive pass interference on Chris Godwin sort of propelled Tampa to win the game. And I know Dallas's kicker also missed like 2 field goals and 2 PATs, I think. Very interesting game, probably the best game of the year so far. Um, then Seahawks and Colts. As you guys know, I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. I thought this was a great game to start. I would honestly had my doubts going into Week 1 against this Colts team. Didn't know how we were gonna show up against that really good defense. But we pulled through. Russ threw for 4 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett looked like an absolute beast, and the offense clicked with their first game under Shane Waldron. The Colts, though, they did not look good. Carson Wentz, although he did throw 2 touchdowns, they could not get the ball moving as much as I think they'd like to. Um, Pretty poor game from the Colts, if I do say so myself. Jags and Texans. Texans look great. Tyrod Taylor looks like a beast. Trevor Lawrence. I've been saying this for like forever. I thought Trevor Lawrence was gonna be a bust, and he sure as heck looked like the bust. In that game, throwing 3 picks and 3 touchdowns. Did not look like his Clemson self. Um, Eagles and Falcons. Falcons, they literally look like a JV team on offense. There's not much to say. They need to get Kyle Pitts going, and I think they need to have success running the ball. And then the Eagles, they look great. Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts connected, and they look pretty dominant week 1, to say the least. Chargers and Washington. I feel like Washington they looked awful against the Chargers. I expected the defense to step up a little bit more. They didn't really pull through. Fitzpatrick went down with an injury. The Chargers looked pretty good. I honestly thought the Chargers could have blown him out, but Justin Herbert, that really weird questionable fumble, and then that interception he threw. Other than that, the Chargers beat the crap out of the football team. Football team, I know they beat the Giants, but they barely beat the Giants in week 2. So I don't know. Not really too high on the football team so far. Steelers and the Bills. The Bills, for a team that was in the AFC Championship last year, looked horrendous against the Steelers. Steelers, who I thought was a really weak team. I had the Bills blowing out the Steelers, but that did not happen. Steelers defense stepped up, and the Bills offense looked awful. Not much to say about this game, but the Steelers defense looks pretty good, to say the least. Niners and Lions. Niners fans, I wouldn't get excited too far. A lot of your players are getting injured so far, and it's not really looking good. And I didn't really look the best against the Lions. You almost blew a 41-18 lead, I think. I still played good. And to give credit where credit's due. Elijah Mitchell, your running back, you are able to run the ball effectively, and then Deebo Samuel was able to get the ball going. You guys look great, but I wouldn't get excited too far, or yet, to say the least. Vikings Bengals. Very disappointing game from the Vikings. Joe Burrow looked great, connecting with Jamar Chase for 2 touchdowns, I think. Not really entirely sure. I might be wrong on that. 1 touchdown, pardon me. And then they were able to run the ball effectively, averaging like 4 yards per carry with Joe Mixon. Vikings, they could not get Dalvin Cook going, and Dalvin Cook, in my opinion, is kind of their offense. Justin Jefferson was a little quiet for me, in my opinion. All around good game. Jets, Panthers. Zach Wilson looked okay. Panthers looked okay as well. McCaffrey seems like he's still going to be the entire offense of that young Panthers team. Sam Darnold gets the revenge game. Not much to say. Not much to say. Arizona and the Titans. Arizona came in and straight up blew out the Titans, stopped Derrick Henry, and basically forced them to pass the ball. And as you can see, Titans, they can't pass the ball. Even if Julio and AJ Brown are awful when it comes to passing, they need Derrick Henry to get going. So good game by Arizona in week 1. Chiefs and Browns. Browns fans, y'all should be happy about something. You at least competed with one of the best teams in the league. Even though the Browns have a stacked roster, that whole franchise is cursed. So I don't really think they're gonna go anywhere for now. Dolphins, Patriots. Mac Jones looked great in his debut. Tua looked good in that new revamped Dolphins offense. Um, I know he threw a pick late, but should have been a Patriots win in my opinion. The Patriots played a heck of a lot better than the Dolphins, but Dolphins pulled through late. Broncos, Giants, not much to say. Broncos look great. Defense looks great. That team's going to be special. Giants, they still got problems, as we know. They're 0-2. Daniel Jones does not look like the answer, even through 2 weeks of football. And Saquon, he can't get going. He looks awful. I know that offensive line's not helping, but, I mean, you're the best player on that team. You got to step up. Packers, Saints. I was telling a lot of my friends. I had a strange feeling that the Packers were going to get blown out by the Saints, and it ended up happening. 38-3. Aaron Rodgers looked like crap. Jameis Winston looked like an MVP, but as most of y'all know, that did not last forever, especially after the Week 2 games. Rams, Bears. What did we expect? The Bears, they're like in a rebuild mode. That's going to be Justin Fields' team probably by Week 7, and Matthew Stafford. I'm still not too hype on him. I think he's going to be good, but I don't know if he'll be able to carry that Rams team to the next level. They played a very weak Bears team. But then Ravens Raiders, the most surprising game I think in my opinion. Raiders beat the crap out of the Ravens. I honestly thought the Ravens were going to blow them out, but the Raiders just wanted it more. Derek Carr looks good, throwing for 400 yards, and Lamar Jackson just I feel like he needs more talent around him. He's just carrying that Ravens team, and they can't do anything without him. So yeah, on to Week 2, Washington beats the Giants off a really bad call. I didn't think, what's his name, Dexter Lawrence, I believe, the defensive tackle was offsides. It's whatever though. Washington pulled through. Their defense still looks bad. I really expected that defense to step up, but they had trouble stopping Daniel Jones and Barkley. Well, pardon me, they stopped Barkley, but they had trouble stopping Daniel Jones. Heineke looked okay. He threw some questionable passes, but he got the job done. That's all that matters. Steelers Raiders, probably the most surprising game of the season so far. They beat the crap out of the Steelers. I know T.J. Watt went down early with an injury, and that's kind of what propelled the Raiders to win that game. Niners Eagles. Niners got a nice win. Defense looked good, but the offense looked pretty lackluster at best. Eagles defense is not really that good in my opinion. And the Niners only scored 17, but the defense held through. Without the defense, they probably would have got destroyed by the Eagles. Excuse me. Texans Browns. Browns could have easily started 0-2 if Tyrod Taylor didn't get injured late. I think they would have blew out the Browns. And I know Baker Mayfield, he had a scary injury in that game too. I'm surprised he even finished that game. But good win by the Browns. Nothing impressive though, 'cause that's a really poor Texans team. Broncos Jags. Trevor Lawrence, like what I said, just looks like a bust. I think he threw like 3 picks or 2 picks, I don't know. He has no talent around him, so he's just going to look awful. And in Denver, they did their thing. Credit them. Panthers Saints, Jameis Winston, his MVP streak stops already in Week 2. And the Panthers, they do their thing against the Saints. Honestly thought the Saints were going to win. I thought Jameis Winston was going to light them up. But his inability to pass the ball really only had 100 passing yards, I think. Did not really do so well. And they could not run the ball. They couldn't get Kamara going. Rams Colts. I honestly thought the Colts could pull this through. Stafford did not look good against that Colts defense. I know Russ Wilson the week before lit them up before. Might have just been a poor game plan by the Rams. But I know their defense stepped up late and got a game-winning interception by Jalen Ramsey, pardon me. And then the Colts, they're in trouble. They're in a really weak division. They're already 0-2. Not a good look, especially for Carson Wentz, who had like a double ankle sprain. And I still have no ability to run the ball, especially with that good offensive line. Bills, Dolphins, there's not much to say. Tua got hurt, and the Bills, they look like their normal selves. And then Patriots, Jets, Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions. I don't know. Dude was seeing ghosts just like Sam Darnold. And then the Patriots, Mac Jones looking like the best rookie quarterback so far. Bears, Bengals, the Bears defense looked pretty good. Justin Fields had it going late, got him to win. And then Joe Burrow threw like 3 picks. Did not look good against that Bears defense, who the week before had Matt Stafford throwing bombs all over him. And then Tampa, and then the Falcons. There's not much to say about this game. Tampa, they're still the Buccaneers. They're still good. And then Atlanta, they need help on offense desperately. Cardinals Vikings, probably the most surprising game in my opinion for week 2. Um, Vikings kicker missed a field goal late. Kyler Murray looks like a early MVP candidate or Offensive Player of the Year candidate. Looking good so far in a tough NFC West. And then Seahawks Titans. Not much to say about this game. Um, Titans, they did not give up on Derrick Henry. I know week 1 they gave up on Derrick Henry, but this week they did not. They kept on running the ball, and it paid off. I think our offense looked pretty good against the Titans. We scored 30 points. That missed PAT ended up biting us in the butt, but it happens. It's football. I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna rebound, and we're gonna make it through it. Titans, they look pretty good. This is a tough win. The 12s are back for Seattle. It was just a tough atmosphere to win in. Derrick Henry had 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. They just did not give up on him. He had like 40 attempts, I think. Another positive for the Seahawks is Bobby Wagner had 20 tackles this game, and the offense looked great. I think it's just a few minor tweaks, and they were going against the best running back in the league. So, Seahawks fans, do not worry. We will be fine. The Titans will probably be a playoff team. They're probably going to win their division. As long as they have Derrick Henry back there, they're going to win games. Cowboys Chargers, probably the worst game of week 2. I thought this was going to be a shootout. Ended up just being a battle between who could throw the most interceptions between quarterbacks. Herbert looked awful against that poor Dallas Cowboys defense. Excuse me. And then Tony Pollard ended up stealing the show from Ezekiel Elliott. I think that's a bad sign for Elliott. Elliott still had a good game, but Pollard, man, he's looking pretty good. And then CeeDee Lamb is pretty good. Ravens Chiefs. I take that back. This was the most surprising game. Baltimore beating the Chiefs. Lamar threw 2 interceptions, yet still won. And I think that dumb throw by Mahomes, which led to a pick, and then hilarious fumble, is the reason why the Chiefs lost. I don't know, Mahomes, man. He just tries to make every play, and sometimes it backfires. But credit to Baltimore. And then Packers Lions. Lions had it in the first half, but then they blew it. So yeah, it's week 1, week 2 recap. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna be trying to do this every Tuesday, for each individual week or 2 weeks together. So yeah, Spinal Sway. Hope you guys enjoyed this NFL recap. Peace.